What's going on, everybody? This is Clark Beckham. This is the Idol Breakdown. Let's just jump right in.
Like the freedom of the first day of summer.
It's a shorter show today because of the Oscars, and I was asleep when it played. So I watched it this morning, and here we are making the video now. Let's start with Danny Ep.
In another life, and I would be your girl, and we'd keep all our promises, be us against the world.
So Danny started with some pitch issues. First of all, what a lovely person. Just fell in love with her from the jump. And she lives in Oklahoma, Boomer Sooner. She seems like a very kind, sweet person that I'd love to just be friends with. So that helps. If that comes across through the television, not only comes across through the television, but the producers wanted that to come across, that's a good thing for Danny. When she started to sing, there were some pitch issues right at the top. I think they were nerves. How do you know if the pitch problems are nerves or if they're problems because of a lack of ability? For me, it's because the more she went on, the better she got and the stronger she got. And she sounds like she's a really good quality singer. So I think at the top, and oh my gosh, I can't explain to you what it feels like to walk into the room. You've been waiting forever. The lights, the glim, the glamour, the freaking 3 judges, the giant lit up American Idol sign. It's a big deal. And it's, I don't care who you are, it's scary. And it's nerve-wracking. Sang a beautiful arrangement of this song. I want to show you the different chord they played that changed the whole feel of the song. So originally it's, in another life, I could be your girl. That right there is a G major chord. Instead of this G major chord, they do what's called a relative minor substitution and move this bass note, instead of here, to here with this chord, same G chord on top. And it gives it an E minor 7, which feels freaking awesome. Here it is in context. In another life, I could be your girl. Woo! See how much better that feels than in another life, I could be your girl. Just so much more emotional, and it's perfect for what she's doing. Her rasp is her ticket. That's her gold. She sounds good everywhere else, but when she really leans into that rasp, that's when she sounds special. Katie started singing harmony with her. Usually, as you guys know, I'm not into when judges intervene into the sacred moment of auditioning and singing, but at this point, I think they all knew she was great, and they loved her, and they were sold. They all knew that she was going to Hollywood, and she's singing a Katy Perry song, and her mom's sitting beside her, so she started to sing harmony, honestly, just to enhance the experience, and I think that's what happened. So I'm totally fine with this. Her mom, speaking of, was brought in to judge, and she really actually judged. I gotta say, I'd feel pretty terrible if my mom went in and was like, after I got done singing, was like, I mean, you need to open your eyes. Like, Mom, we're around American Idol judges right now. We're on TV. You should be like, so, yeah, guys, let's just do the easy thing here. It's a yes for me. No, she goes, you need to open your eyes. I'm telling you. It's like, Mom, not in front of my friends. That would be tough for me. Obviously, they have a wonderful relationship, and her mom did say, give her a yes. But if my mom did that, I would not be okay. Amara.
I bust the windows out your car.
What's her name? What's her name?
And no, it didn't mend my broken heart.
Come on.
This story was wild. So homegirl singing at a graduation, and this girl walks up, takes the mic, is like, this is my graduation, so I should sing. Would love to know the background story. Would love to know, we found out the name, Sarah's point of view. Really would. At the wild chance, Sarah, that you're watching this, please tell us your story in the comments. I want to know. Obviously not acceptable to do that ever, but maybe she was trying to sing. Maybe she, before that, was like, I want to sing, this is my senior graduation. Can I sing the national anthem? And they're like, Amara's better than you. I don't want that. Or who knows? There could be some political things going on in that situation. I don't know, but the story was great. Luke's reaction was even better. They're all like, well, now they know, or now she knows, and look at you now. And Luke was like, I want a freaking name, which was hilarious. It should have stopped right there and let her sing, and she was great. And they all go through to she goes through to Hollywood. They all say yes. It should have went like that. Instead, they filled her singing time with the judges saying dumb, random names. It was so contrived to me. She's singing her face off and killing it, and they're like, Sophie? Wanda? Stop. She's singing. That's so rude. There's no way around it. Yeah, it's judges and this TV show. It's supposed to be entertaining and funny, and it was hilarious when Luke said it. I laughed real laughs when he said that. And then they just kept going and were disrespectful. I hope, it's very possible that this is the truth, and I hope that it was an edit. I hope she sang it and they're like, wow, that was great. And the producers came in like, hey, let's do that one more time, and we want you guys to be like saying names. And then they did it again for like a gimmick. Corny, I don't like the gimmick, but I hope that that's actually what happened and not what we saw. Speaking of gimmicks that are lame, we did the whole meta American Idol thing. That was And then when they pretended to leave Lionel by himself, some of the gimmicks are funny. Some of them are not gimmicks. They're just natural moments that just happen spontaneously. And some, very few, I feel like, are straight up scripted. This one was straight up scripted. So obvious and corny and cringy to me. And it wasn't funny. The only funny part was seeing Lionel trying to act well. That was funny to me. But at least we got to actually hear the singer that brought the gimmick, Savannah Christian.
Of the tiger. Wow!
I just wonder, like, and I really hope this doesn't come across offensive, but the people that come in with like wild gimmicks, like cow suits or idol meta, and then sing something like Eye of the Tiger, like, are you really trying your best to make it? Maybe that's her song. Maybe that's her favorite song and she thinks that's the best. And if it is, then I feel stupid for saying this. But I question sometimes, like, are they really just, it almost feels like they're a plant. Like, we want to talk about metaverse, you want to do it, your song's okay, but you want to do this, or just sing whatever, it doesn't matter. I just wonder about the validity of the desire to actually make it when they come in with that and those songs. Let's talk about Hannah.
When the rain is blowing in your face, and there's no one there to dry your tears.
Ooh!
I could hold you for a million years,
Man.
to make you feel my love.
Shoo! Hannah. Another just marching down the checklist kind of a singer. She's got tone, she has control and runs, and above all, taste and choices. The choices she made on the little runs that she did, none of them were distracting, unless just glory shining from the television into the depths of my soul is a distraction, which I guess it is, but certain runs that she did, like I wrote down Avenue.
I go crawling down the avenue.
Just great choices, just a songbird, if you will. Riette Thorns.
Ever felt like you were dreaming just to find that you're awake?
Personally, I thought Riette had some pitch issues to start, and they didn't really stop. At first, I'm thinking nerves, and also she was singing really low in her voice, and that's really hard to sing nervous low on pitch. Really, really hard. So I was kind of just letting that go. But then as she continued to sing, she lacked a bit of vocal control and pitch. But she had some elements of skill. Like, she hit some nice runs and moments and had a lot of power in her voice and vibrato and tone that came out that was really nice. It's just the pitch and control of her voice has to get dialed in. Those get dialed in, we're in business. But they have to. Trip Taylor.
One of these days, and it won't be long, you're gonna look for me and I'll be gone. That's why I believe right now. I believe to my soul.
Trip does totally look like Lionel Richie's son. When they put the stash on him, it was uncanny, as they say. Vocally, I liked him a lot. He shouldn't have played piano. Shouldn't. He should have played piano better. I like that he played piano to show that he can play piano, but he was not in time. The pocket wasn't there. You don't want to think about the piano, but he kind of play and then like pause and sing and then play again and pause and sing rather than just keep the tempo. It was not like that. Tempo-wise, it was very wonky. Vocally, the rasp, the grit was really special. Good-looking guy, charisma, great speaking voice. Super jealous of that speaking voice. Wow. Colt Glover.
By the banks of the river, where the willows hang down.
Very sweet, soft voice. I'm into it. And then he brings the rasp. We have a lot of rasp and grit in this episode. Colt brings it as good as anybody. Really nice stuff. I have this weird feeling that I don't quite understand. Maybe you guys can help me flesh it out. That he's not going to make it very far. I don't know why I think that. I think it's because I've seen it in the past. Guys like him that aren't all the way country. They're not all the way pop. They're not a specific thing. They sound good though, and so they get played a little bit and then they're gone. I'm afraid that he's gonna fall into that. K.
I never really enjoyed the 3-hour drive.
Man. Tragic story. I'm happy that she shared it. Honored to... It sounds corny, but I'm honored to have been able to hear it and just receive it and take that in. How tough that is. And how she's spreading awareness about it and singing about her dad and talking about him. The judges, I think the judges won't know what to say. And then the first judge will say something and then they just jump on that because they don't know what to say. So I can't remember who the first judge was to say it, but they said I didn't get enough emotion. And I was like, there was no lack of emotion. Like, she wasn't weeping at the piano, but she wasn't stone cold. Like, I felt emotion. And then all the other judges were like, yeah, you gotta, let's just say a truth, everybody. You gotta really feel it. That's true, but it doesn't mean it's right in this situation. I think they don't mean what they say sometimes. I got all the emotion. Personally, I thought her voice wasn't quite where it needed to be for the show, but I got the emotion. I was really scared they were going to say no, because that would have been sucky for her, because if they would have said no, this is true even though that they said yes. After they give the critique, you just got to feel it, honey. You got to just really... believe it and just, come on, you feel it. When the reality was she had some vocal issues. Okay, great. Now she's gonna, if they would have said no, she'd have been like, well, if you would have just let me do it one more time, I could fix that, when that was never the problem. They said yes. Now she's went home. Hollywood Week has already happened. And instead of working on her voice in Hollywood Week, maybe she worked on her emotion connecting there when, in my opinion, that needed no work. That was fine. That was all there. Rach Karma.
Holy diver! Holy diver!
I think she rocks. Is she erratic and a little wild and crazy? Yeah, but that's kind of the vibe. It's like saying an opera singer is loud. It's like, well, a rock singer is a little crazy and throws a muck, if you will. I was into it. Is it for Idol? Probably not. She was a little salty when Katie was like, I don't think, it's you're right for this show. She gave her a little look. She was a little salty. I thought she was cool, but agreed with the judges, not for the show. Not at least, not this year. The judge rating, I would give this episode a B-. Maybe a C. No, I'm going to give them a C+. C+. I thought there were weird gimmicks. I thought some of their comments weren't accurate. Says me, just my opinion. Wasn't a big fan of the judges like I have been in the past episodes. The contestant rating, I'd give it a B+. I wonder if they're saving some of their big stars for normal episodes that are 2 hours long instead of this 1 hour episode. That was after the Oscars at like 11:15, past midnight for Eastern time. We've got 2 viewer questions. One from Sashi Jolly, who asked, what's the background song from 8 seconds to 10 seconds of video? Well, I'm happy to tell you it's...
Are you sure we haven't met before?
The last question is a good one. A lot of people have asked me about this. What are your thoughts? This comes from Jordan Holler. What are your thoughts on Way coming in second place on The Voice? Do you think it's fair that she already has a pretty big fan base and starting on a new show? She got second on The Voice and she just walks up, strolls in American Idol. Huge advantage. Huge. I don't know why I did that. Huge advantage. Not just because of the fan base, but because of the experience of singing on a reality singing competition with a band and the TV and the cameras, the song choices, like all of that. It's like she's done this already at a high level and was super successful. So for me, honestly, she was not one of my standouts so far on this season. But now I'm expecting her to shine as a front runner. I mean, she should. She got second on The Voice and then comes here. She should be crushing every single week. The question is, do I think it's fair? What is fair? What is fairness? Is it fair? I'm going to say yes, because every contestant on American Idol has different walks of life and different things that they're coming into. Some of them have come from nothing, which helps them. Some of them have come from something with a fan base already, which helps them. So everyone has their thing that helps. So I don't think it's a fairness issue, but I am definitely saying it's a big advantage. Speaking of advantages, one thing that I'm starting to do again, during the pandemic, all shows got shut down, of course, and I just started teaching lessons on Zoom, like one-on-one, pretty much this view that you have right now of me, but obviously you're in my little screen, and I'm talking to you and singing, and I'm teaching, whether it's vocals or piano is really fun for me, guitar. I've even done co-writing stuff, songwriting things, and then just general like advice and guidance and even counseling sometimes over career and what an independent artist looks like or aspiring artist looks like. I'm starting to do those again. I only have 4 slots per week that are open, 4 30-minute slots. So I'm thinking those would be 4 individual people. If that's of interest to you, email me at beckhamlessons@gmail.com and we'll see if we can slot you in. This is a first come, first serve. I'm not trying to fill my whole day with these. I'm trying to be very selective of not just who I get to teach, but of my time so I can create videos like this. So first come, first serve. Hit me up if that interests you. Next week, we've got more auditions. I think they freaking doubled up. I think they're doing Sunday and Monday, either next week or soon, which, I mean, I'm fine with 2 hours on Sunday, personally, but the more the merrier, question mark. I'll see you guys next week.